For COVID-19 travel restrictions kicking in today as we see more cases of the new Omicron variant spread across our country. 2 cases involving Georgia residents have now been reported. Christy Diaz is at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport with more on what's changing for travelers.
New stricter travel rules start today for any passenger flying into the U.S. This is happening just as we're learning about 2 people in Metro Atlanta who tested positive for this Omicron variant. So happening today, everyone flying into the U.S. from another country will be required to show a negative COVID test. This now includes U.S. citizens. This test has to be done 1 day before your flight, and you have to show it to the airline before you can board. Also, any foreign national must be fully vaccinated, and this federal mask mandate will stay in effect through March. Right now, the U.S. has a travel ban on South Africa and several other southern African nations, but officials say those bans are being reevaluated every day.
We need to figure out how to balance not only the economy and the health concerns simultaneously, but we also need to think about making sure that we can still welcome international travelers here to the U.S.
The only people exempt from showing that negative COVID test are people who can prove and show that they have just recovered from COVID-19 sometime in the last 90 days.
A lot to keep track of, and while we have a small number of Omicron cases in Georgia, Delta is still the dominant strain behind nearly all of the cases here. Since Friday, Georgia added about 700 new infections a day to the overall total. That's lower than our current case average, which sits in the 1,300 range. Georgia's positivity rate also remains in the 4% range. Remember, the World Health Organization wants that right below 5%. Now, that 4% range, that's more than 3 times lower than where we were just a few months ago when Delta set new records. Overall, there's been a slight uptick in hospitalizations since the Thanksgiving holiday. Right now, just over 1,000 people have the virus and are being treated. That's about 6% of all patients statewide. The CDC says anything 20% or higher puts a strain on the state's medical resources.